Butterfinger 1084 against Reabs. I believe right now, times for them would be Reabs has, I believe, a 31.54 and Butterfinger has a 32.24. So this is going to be interesting. For those who don't know this game, this is MMX. They will be playing most likely I believe they both play Japanese. I'm not sure if Butterfinger does or not. But basically, we're going into the intro stage, which is the highway stage. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. We just got to get through a bunch of enemies, a bunch of crushers, some baldevos, gunbolts, all of the enemies basically. And we also got to go with our Bobo Bubbies. Shoutouts to Walrus. Sorry, have to do it. But basically, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be hoping for a really good RNG with the bee. They're going to need health gone for the battle with Vile's going to be a staged fight. So we need to make sure we're at least, I believe it's four rice pellets down? Yeah, I believe it's 4. It's been a long time since I've done this game. So you'll have to excuse me. So they're going to make sure they have to be at low health. It looks like Butterfinger didn't really get a good pattern with the Bee-Blader, so he might have to opt for task cars. I don't know if Butterfingers does it, but we'll see if he performs that. So like I said, once again, the intro here, it's actually a stage fight. You can't win against Vile, at least not yet. The time has not yet come, so basically we have to make sure that we are at low health so that Vile can basically just send what I like to call an electric cheesy poof to stop X in his tracks and continue the plot. Butterfinger there got a really good start right there with Vile, so that wasn't too bad. Looks like they both weren't actually that bad either, so that's a pretty good start. And we're just going through, say bye-bye to Vile. It's nice seeing ya. We'll see you later. We'll see you in due time. And then X and Zero have their pep talk of, I'm not strong, but you will be strong. Trust me, you'll get strong. Strong. That's really all you need to know. So, obviously, we have to go to our first place, which is Chill Penguin, also known as Icy Penguigo in the Japanese version. Reason why we always go to this first stage is because we need to be in style, dude. We need to be a fashionista and need to get our lovely boots so that we can speed run the rest of this game. So the very beginning is just going to be planned shooting enemies so that we're just not getting any kind of lag. Basically, for those that are wondering, this is the only upgrade that we're going to be getting. It's just the dash boots, and that's it. For any percent, we do not collect the armors and such. For people that are learning speedrunning this game, it's totally fine, and a lot of people still do that, especially when they're just learning. They might grab like maybe the armor piece, or maybe a heart or 2, or maybe even a sub-tank. But now that we're in a whole different bracket now. This is where boys become men. So they're gonna have to be very, very careful if they do grab anything. Most likely they're not. So there's a lot of risks that they're gonna be taking during this. So now we just got our nice boots. Now we're gonna be dashing through, proper enemy placement hitting, and we'll be fighting Icy Penguigo very soon. Basically, unfortunately, there's a lot of RNG when it comes to these bosses, as you will see very soon, as well as in the later matches. But hopefully they'll be okay. Icy Penguin could still be really scary, even in 100% mode. So, looks like Butterfinger had a little bit of a tight slip up on that snow hill. But it looks like, man, we got sinkage going on here. Hello, sinkage. Let's go. Let's see how they do. Oh, looks like for Reab's side, Penguigo is jumping. Meanwhile, for Butterfinger, had to do a slide. Here come the slides. Here come the waves. No ways. Oh no. So like I said, this is like the worst thing you don't want to get. And unfortunately, RNG is sometimes just not in your favor. But Butterfinger got the kill, and shortly after Reabs did too. So probably like a 5-6 second difference. So not too bad. Like I said, there's many factors that could change this whole game, but basically this is a whole nother section. We have to, you know, we have to make sure that we're not making any mistakes, basically. So now they're going to be heading to the second stage, which is going to be Boomer Coanger, also known as the vertical stage. Some people knows this is the most difficult of all stages, just because of the platforming setup. It's vertical. There's a lot of things to it. You have to make sure that you are getting through the stage with as much health as possible. Getting through those Mega Turtles really good. Very nice, very nice. They both did a fantastic job on that. Reabs doing a little bit of that damage boost right there, which is really good. And then we just gotta dodge these jamminers and just enjoy the beautiful music that is Boomer and Coanger. This is probably my favorite Maverick stage music, but I mean, I love them all. That's the sad part. So we're gonna go through these Yatter ladders. Butterfinger had a little bit of difficulty of the movement, but finally got back in step. Opting to use the opting to use the shotgun ice, but unfortunately did not help in his favor. So we're gonna go back up here. Once again, it's a very vertical stage, so you have to know your movements, basically to a T. Ooh, and unfortunately, Butter slipped just a little bit. And now we're gonna be basically dancing. We're gonna be dancing with Coanger here. So basically for this is we have to enter with a charge shot. Position ourselves just right so that as Coanger is basically bobbing his head down, that you jump and then just shoot. And it's just basically a repeated process until he starts teleporting. Ooh. Butter's gonna be very careful, but there we go. Good, good. He's fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is good. He did very fine. So with that, that put Reabs in a lead. And whoa, is this the perfect frame odds right there? Oh my goodness. We got some swag going on here with Butterfinger. Now we're gonna be heading to Stinkmeow. Weirdest name in the Japanese version, in my opinion. Just they got rid of the end. Basically, we're just gonna be going through the stage. Nothing too difficult about this. Also, shout outs to Reabs Caves. They're not gonna be opting to go up to see our lovely green biker dad. Also known as RT55J, so we're not going to be having the armor, which means there's a lot more risks to take. They're just going through right now. Now, Reabs is heading to the swamp right now, so is Butterfinger just falling after. No mech strats, come on. Like, the mech strats, that's where it's at. One day, we'll get someone with the mech strats for me. So basically, this fight it's easy. It's just, it's any casual gamer can do this. You just have to have Boomer Coanger's weapon, set pattern. It's just so simple. And look at that, the sinkage. It's just beautiful. I love it. Very nice. So once again, simple stage, not too much to it, just dodging enemies, basically. That's basically basically what you're going to be seeing for most of the stages, only because it is any percent, so we're not really picking up anything, we're not grabbing anything. No setbacks, no revisits. So now we're going to be going into Storm Eagle, or Storm Eagled, as he's in the Japanese version. A little bit of an vertical, but then goes straight on from left to right. Basically, it's just going to be worried about the movements of the panels. If I'm correct, everything is at a global timer, so they have to make sure that they're making the precise movements. And if not, they have to be very careful that they don't accidentally fall into their doom. Once again, this fight, not so much heavy RNG now, especially since we do have the weakness now for Storm Eagle, which will be the Chameleon Steam. But he might troll, we're not sure. We'll see how he does. Hopefully there's no dives, but that would probably be the only thing that's really going to take time away from them. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, and it looks like they're both going up. Ooh! Ooh, and just like that, they are neck and neck. This is a race already. My goodness. That's like a second. This is like a second difference. This is, whew. Definitely making things interesting. So from here on out, it looks like we got a little bit of a different route. So Reabs is going to be going to Flame Mammoth, where Butterfingers is going to be going to Spark Mandrill. So a couple of things about each of the stages. Most of them is going to be dodging the enemies. Butterfinger is going to have to deal with a mid-boss, which is the Thunder Slime. Basically for each, it's just proper movement. For Spark Mandrill stage, it's going to be, you know, if you use the Shotgun Ice, if you're using Tornado, just to reduce that lag, basically, of all the enemies. Destroying that Thunder Slimer with those Boomerang Cutters. Meanwhile, Reabs is just about to be entering Flame Mammoth. Simple stage, it's not too much to it, since we're not grabbing any kind of upgrades. Ooh, Butterfinger having, some difficulty going through this hallway. And unfortunately with that, he's going to be losing a little bit of time here now. Meanwhile, Reabs has just finished defeating Flame Mammoth. Trust me, that hallway is not easy, especially like when you're first learning it, because you have to be in a precise movement for that. If you don't, like, if you lose that, like, trust me, it's not, it kind of throws you off, basically. And there could be many factors that throw it off, not just you getting hit, but, you know, if you gain, like, an energy, then you have a little bit of a lag input from that. So many things to take into consideration. Just as Reabs is entering Spark Mandrill, Butterfingers is starting the fight. Once again, just using the Shotgun Ice to stop him in his tracks. Dodging any kind of punches or electric shocks that he will send your way. Now we're seeing Thunder Slime. Hello, Thunder Slime. How are you? It's nice seeing you, but you gotta go. You got to go. He's opting to use the Tornado, which is fine. It can be a little bit slow, but it definitely helps put the damage. Meanwhile, Butterfinger's just starting Armored Armadillo. which he's going to be doing as much optimal movement as he can to get rid of any enemies that get in his way, as it just brings so much lag. So unnecessary lag. Meanwhile, Reabs is dodging those Hauterions. Love that. Beautiful. Those things can be definitely an issue. So Butterfinger here, dodging those mole bars, going straight through. Not sure if he does jump or goes off the cart. Nope, he goes off the cart. Okay, he goes in style. So basically, yes, he's going in style, but he's also doing that to reduce a lot of lag in that area, because if you're particularly on that minecart, it can spawn metal wings, which basically just chew up the game and lag. So opting to jump despawns them. So now he's fighting, getting a shock, and he's got a good pattern, and he's basically done. Easy peasy, every time. This part, it's just, this is such a weird stage because I'm so used to the 100% where you have to go through the stage a couple times, but nope, not an any percent. You just, once is enough for these guys. While Reabs is past halfway through that, Butterfinger is entering Launch Octopus. Basically using certain weapons to destroy the anglers. You can use the spark, or you can use the rolling shield. Just have to be careful with using the rolling shield, only because that's the weapon we're going to be needing for our fight against Launch Octopus. So, as well as the Chameleon Sting is another weapon that we can use. Oh, had a little bit of a bonk. Ooh, this part I don't like. Ooh. Ooh, don't scare me, Butterfingers. I don't need that scare. I really don't. That part of anglage I don't like, just because you can just one slip up and you're in the spikes. That's it. Game over. It's gonna be using a tornado to destroy these Uroboros. Easy peasy. Not too difficult. It takes a little bit more time. It's a little bit different setup than you would in 100%, but you still use the same weapon. We'll see how much Launch Octopus does, because he can do a couple of things. We don't want whirlpools. No laundry today, guys. See how he does. Oh, he's opting to get that, and that can be very scary, because there can be a chance that Launch Octopus can do an infinite damage on you from that grab, and it's not fun. We managed to get through. Meanwhile, Reabs is just fighting the first angler. Scare. See how he does in the second part. Oh! Reabs! Don't scare me! Please! Please! That was too spoopy. I thought that was it. Oof. They're testing me right now. I can tell. I can tell. Butterfinger is now doing a Flame Mammoth stage. Not too much of a difficult stage, just going through, dodging a bunch of enemies. Fight is very simple. We'll also see how Reabs does on this match with Launch Octopus. Had a really good setup right there. That's really nice. Ooh, here comes the whirlpools. Wow, that was a very, very scary match. For those who don't understand, doing 80% with no upgrades, no armor, no hard upgrades or tanks, a fight with Launch Octopus can be very deadly, and that was very close. So now that Reabs is finished, all the Mavericks, we have another pep talk with Zero, and now we're heading for the Sigma stages. So it's not over. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But basically, they're going to try to make as little mistakes as possible. Any mistake can be costly. The Sigma stages get a lot harder. They're going to be difficult in the sense of more risks being taken, more chances to die. We're going to do a same setup just like the intro, where we're going to be losing our health a bit, since it's going to be a little bit of a stage fight. But what we're going to be doing, see if he gets it. And he got it. Good job. So basically what he did right there is when you touch that floor going up that ladder, it actually starts a cutscene with Zero and File. It takes so much time. It's just time waster, basically. So by doing that ladder jump gap, basically, lets us skip all that. And it kind of breaks the game a bit. So... And Butterfinger also got it. Nice. We also have to make sure we go through that hallway at a good time as well to finish the rest part of that skip. I know it's a less time frame in the Japanese version than it is in the English, so... Very nice fight with purple Boba Fett. But what is this? What? Zero. 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 Why? How could this happen? He told us to be strong. Well, I guess we're gonna have to be strong. Because now we've just been given his weapon, which gives us the charge ability. This is the only way, only other second item that you would get in this game due to plot. Let's see how Reabs does with our fight with Quanger. Don't worry, Zero will come back. He will come back. Mark my words. He will come back. He will. It'll be okay. So just dancing with him using the torpedo shots. Meanwhile, Butterfingers is going up the Tiki Climb section. And we're going to be facing our first boss in the Sigma stages, which is Bow Spider. Ugh. Don't like spiders, don't like spooters. Basically, for those that never play this game or perhaps don't speedrun the 80% category, it's a lot different than the 100%, because one, you're not doing a Hadouken, so you have to use the weakness, which is the Shotgun Ice, which they do a charge Shotgun Ice. And basically what it is Bow Spider goes to a pattern, and you just have to basically memorize it, know where where it's going. And also, Bow Spider loves to drop babies every now and then, and so you have to take into that factor as well. And the thing about this, for those that are just learning this, it may take some time, only because as more time progresses and as more health is taken away, Bow Spider becomes a lot faster. So you have to be very on your toes for this. So definitely these speedrunners have practiced this countless times. And Reabs just finished it, whereas Butterfinger's about almost halfway there. Once again, it's a very difficult thing to learn at first, but once you get the hang of it, once you know the patterns, then it's not too bad. It's just knowing your placement as well as letting go the actual Shotgun Ice at the right time. Doing a charge Shotgun Ice does more damage, but when you do, you have to make sure you're basically right up close to it in order to get it. Just letting go the sled's not going to do anything, unfortunately. So there's a lot of precision movement for it. Alright, Reabs is cooking our first bird, because this is the second stage of Sigma. Birds are jerks. Remember that, guys. Ooh, he's doing the Huehuehues. Don't worry. Icy Penguigo is cooked. With that, Butterfingers is now heading to Chill Penguin. We'll see how he does. Ooh, unfortunately got a slide. I mean, dodging a lot of enemies. Everyone opts for different things. Some use the Armadillo Shield, the Torpedo. Some will actually use the Chameleon Sting. It's just, this is where your field, how you feel comfortable with. Every runner kind of has their own strat, basically, of how to get through. You just basically want to get through without getting hit. That's the gist. Just don't take damage, that's all. Now to our second jerk. Bird. Though is acting like a jerk. So foul. So foul. Pun always intended. Easy fight. Had a little troubles. He did a lot of dives, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And now we're gonna be heading to our second boss fight. Banga Banga. Yeah, I don't like this fight. It's not a normal fight. It's so obscure how you have to do it. There's 2 eyes and a nose. Let's see how the setup is. Could have been a better setup. Unfortunately, let's see if he can get a 1 cycle. Nice setup right there. Once again, this is a really tricky fight, only because you have to be very careful. There are spikes below once the walls come up, so you have to be very careful you don't accidentally fall and crush your doom. And Butterfinger got there, so we're still very close. Butterfinger was able to catch up a little bit, probably due to the loss of time with Storm Eagle. And now we're gonna go into our third stage, which, oh no. So, okay, this might make or break. Let's see what Butterfingers does. Oh, and just like that, game has changed. This is what I'm telling you guys. It's not over. It's not over. So for those who are wondering, what did we just watch? What just happened? Why is Butterfingers all of a sudden ahead? Basically, Reabs unfortunately did not perform the Armadillo skip. Basically, it's making sure that ceiling is not shown. It causes the game to basically freak out. And lets you skip the fight. Of course, if you jump in that room while you do it, you will cause Armadillo to come and cause a lot of glitches. So, because Butterfinger was able to do that Dillo skip, that immediately put him ahead. So now, all we gotta hope for is that we, it's gonna be now about how fast are they defeating these enemies, their movements. Any mistake can be costly. Butterfinger just finishing Spark Mandrill. Meanwhile, Reabs is just starting the fight. About to be done real quick, though. Easy fight. Every time. Yes, there's a lot of RNG in Mega Man X, unfortunately. So it can really be a bad factor when it comes to placements, movements. I feel like a lot of things is that RNG is going to come after, whereas your main focus when learning this game is going to be learning the movements, learning any kind of tricks. See how we do with Launch Octopus, giving a little bit of difficulty for Reabs. Meanwhile, Butterfingers is just Just going straight through, not even bothering to go up to get any kind of backups. Not even a life backup. Nope. Oh yes, X2 and X3 definitely has a lot more RNG than X1. But I do feel like, especially for top speedrunners, it's a lot more punishing. Though it can be very punishing. I know in X2 it can. So Butterfinger just finished Flame Mammoth. Easy fight, not too much to it. We're not going to be heading to D-Rex. Basically, what we're going to be doing is using the Boomerang Cutter. We just gotta be careful, because D-Rex can just be... he'll be slow at first. Then he can be menacing. So we'll see what happens. And it looks like... Butterfinger opting with the shotgun ice strats right here. Kind of losing a little bit of time from that, but he feels confident. With that, they're both done with the D-Rex. This is it. This is the final match against our Sigma's dog, Velgarder, Jedi Sigma, and Wolf Sigma. Once again, it's not over until it's over. Anything can happen. All of the bosses here can do heavy amounts of damage. We've seen deaths. It's not pretty. So we'll see what happens with these two. We're going to be using the shotgun ice to get rid of that dog, because just don't want to deal with it. And it would have been a lot easier if you had a Hadouken. Now we're going to be heading to the Jedi Sigma form, which will be using the Electro Spark. And what they're going to do is they're going to shoot first. And then they're going to opt to shoot on the actual wall, because it actually travels. So by timing that correctly, Jedi Sigma will just be hitting the wall and getting damage from it. So it's just about precise shooting, basically. So this is it. This is now or never. Wolf Sigma, which... not gonna be easy. Let's see how Butterfinger does. This is scary. I can't. Oh, this is too scary. Claws, claws, please. Claws. And with that, oh my goodness gracious. That is time for Butterfingers. Butterfingers finished with a, from what it looks like on the SRL, a 3256. And Reabs just finishing after with a 3309. My goodness. That is scary. You guys do not understand that basically just one hit and that is it. You're done. And with Butterfinger having basically no health into that it's just a scary feeling. So that gives Butterfinger one win. And we still got one more to go. Or two more. You never know. Anything can happen. So it's going to be a little bit as I was going to start setting up. No, unfortunately that was not a PB. I believe Reabs' PB is a 3154. Meanwhile, Butterfingers, I believe, is a 3224. So they're pretty close. That's not like, for a regular run, that's not bad. Could be better. But they both had their share of mistakes. And like I said, that's what it's going to come down to basically now. Now that we're done with the first round, we're in the second round now of any percent tournament. Any mistakes can be costly. As you just saw, it was a game changer. It looks like we might take a little slight short break. Just so that they get their nervousness out, shake it off. They got the first round done. Not too bad, not too bad. Once again, guys, if you haven't already, please follow these runners. They're amazing. It's amazing how many people has joined for the tournaments, and it's been amazing to watch. It's crazy as we're getting, down to the slowly getting to the last groups. This is round 2, and there's a lot that's going to happen. And after this, whoever wins this match, I believe is going to be going, whoever won the match against Walrus and Akiteru. I unfortunately did not get to see that, so I'd have to see what happened, if they had a match yet or not. I don't believe they have. I go ahead and look at the tournament schedule right now to see what's going on. I know a couple people had some matches just before this. I know after this, I believe there are 2 more matches scheduled. One on Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern with Darrenville and Casma's Sots. Oh my gosh, I'm butchering that name. I apologize. And then we also have a match on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern with Two Stop and Trogdor. So there's definitely a couple of matches going. And it looks like it is confirmed. Akiteru did win. I was looking at the actual challenge schedule, so it hasn't been updated yet. So basically, whoever wins is going after Akiteru. That is going to be very, very difficult, since Akiteru is our world record holder, if I'm correct. So as we're taking a little bit of break, once again, make sure you're following these runners. Make sure you're following actually the Speed Gaming. Thanks to Speed Gaming for letting us be able to host our tournament on their channel. And if you follow Speed Gaming, you can actually go look below in their descriptions and look at the schedule and see all the other amazing tournaments that are going on. There's always so many things to watch. Links to past Randomizer daily races. I know that they were doing a Breath of the Wild All Dungeons tournament. I also believe there was Mario Odyssey going on as well. So there's a bunch going on. You could check the schedule and see what channels they're actually displaying it on as well, because I know there's a bunch of different channels, not just Speed Gaming, but Speed Gaming 2, 3, and 4. So you can check it there. And for those who don't know, I'm Edobin, commentating for this match. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this. Should I throw in some fun facts for you guys, since I'm someone with a weird amount of knowledge of games? Rockman X, known as Mega Man X, for the Super Nintendo, probably one of my favorite games. A lot of people's favorite games, probably why we do a lot of tournaments for this game, because it's just a popular one. If anyone wants to respond in the chat, I want to ask, what is your favorite Maverick? What is your favorite Maverick or Maverick stage? especially for music. I love Quanger, and Storm Eagle is probably one of my other favorites as well. Got one for Eagle. Eagle's a good one. Ah, we have Flame Mammoth here. Love for Flame Mammoth. Magma Dragoon. That's from Act 4. But I'll take it. Magma Dragoon's pretty awesome. Especially for his Street Fighter moves. Even though he betrays you. Tisk tisk. Chill Penguin has a really cool stage. Bubble Carlos. Gotta love Carlos's music. Like I said, I really love Quanger's stage. The music is amazing. And a little fun fact about Mega Man X1 is probably the way the game is laid out. It's actually laid out just like the original Mega Man game is, in the sense of there is at least one vertical stage. Instead of the trend that they would do in the later ones where one particular stage would be a boss rush, it's actually like the first game where it's throughout the stages you would fight the do the refights. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they kept that in the first X game. And it looks like we are ready, I believe. We're gonna be starting our next match. So this is it. It's either Reabs tries to get back or Butterfinger will take the win. So once again, welcome everyone to Mega Man X Any Percent. Butterfinger1084 against Reabs. And I'm Edobi, and I will be your commentator. We're on the second match. And they're just starting. So let's see how we do. Once again, this is the intro stage. We're going to be dodging a lot of enemies, but as well as losing health, for we need to have a certain amount of health for a stage fight to be completed. We're going to see if we're going to get some good bees. Let's see if they're going to be passive for us or not. Those bee-bladers. Gotta love them. So a little bit of a slow start for Butterfinger. Reabs also had a little bit of difficulty. Once the ball de veau appears, it definitely causes a little bit of lag, so it looks like they're about at the right amount of health. I'm not sure about Butterfinger though. I think he might need to take one more hit. It's hard to really see with the video. But basically, this first fight is completely staged. We have to be at low health, at least 4 rice pellets left for Vile to send out an attack on you. That stops you basically and renders you helpless. He's having a little trouble on that last part. So that's a little bit of time right there. And a pretty good setup right there. Ooh, but unfortunately, managed to get him to go back. I thought Vile was gonna jump way further back. That's one of the worst RNG things to happen for Vile is when he does that. It goes completely out of screen and takes forever to get to you. We're gonna have our pep talk with Zero. You're not strong yet, but you will be. And I'll be fine. That's what Zero said. He said he was gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I believe in Zero. I believe in Zero. So we'll be going to our first stage, which is Chill Penguin, Icy Penguin. In the Japanese version, we are playing the Japanese version because it's a lot faster with the text box. Believe it's, I think it's only like an 8-second difference. Maybe 10-second difference. No, that sounds like about right, about 8-second difference. Hundo is a lot longer, only because there's extra scenes you need to get through. This whole first portion is just going to be dodging enemies, going through the batons, the spikies, you name them. I know them all. And we just got to get our first upgrade. So there's only going to be 2 upgrades we're going to be getting in this game. This one, it's no matter what, you have to get it. It's very important for this run, and it's our boots. We gotta have our, whatever you want to call them, your fashionista boots, your Air Jordans, wherever you want to call them, your Nikes. We need to speed run in style. In style. This is actually the only time we get to see Dr. Light, so goodbye, Dr. Light. It was nice seeing you. Wave goodbye to him as we get our power up. And this is where basically the game completely changes. We're going to be utilizing the dash as much as possible so we can get through this game as fast as possible. Dodging all the enemies like the flamingos, using the mech to get across. And basically it's just going to be a lot of bit of movement. This is the key to this game. Movement and boss RNG. Shout out to 1UP right there. So Chill Penguin can do a couple of different things, which I feel like he's kind of one of the most randomized bosses in this game. He's unfortunately doing a lot of slides. So he can do slides, he can shoot out icicles, he can jump, he can cause a blizzard storm, he can shoot ice. There's so many different things that he can do, and basically this is really a great, in my opinion, prep for a lot of speedrunners that are learning this game, just to kind of be on their toes. And with that, wow, the same time kill right there, jeez, that definitely making things interesting. The sync, man, it's amazing. Now we're going to be going to our second stage, which is Boomer Kawanga, which is our vertical stage. This has been known to be the more difficult stage out of all the Mavericks, only because of just the execution you have to do in your movements climbing up. Just precise jumping, attacking. We want to make sure that we are getting through this hallway right here. Let's see if he manages to pull it off. They managed to do it very well the last round, so we'll see what happens. Fortunately, they lost a lot of time. As you can see, Butterfinger, he actually stopped because he knew that he didn't get through that hallway fast enough, and he was going to get hit by the Mega Tortoise. So he opted to stop for that, so he just doesn't lose that damage, basically. And like I said, because this is any percent, we have to be very cautious. There's a lot of risks that you have to take. Any kind of damage can be lethal because you are not going to be. They're not going to be getting any upgrades of health or sub tanks. So any kind of damage that they take throughout the stages can be costly to them when they get to the Maverick fights. So we're going up here, more vertical climbing, going past those yatter ladders. They can be a little bit of a nuisance. Reabs is now going to be just entering the door pretty soon. With Butterfinger joining just after. This is where we'll be dancing with Quanger, doing the tango dance, so that we can have a clean fight with him. Not knowing how to do this technique can actually make this fight very scary. especially for any percent runners. So like, see, the key here is jumping at the right time. Oh no! And unfortunately, Reabs, he got attacked. That was it. And just like that, that's one death. So that's gonna put Butterfingers in a big lead right now. So like I said, you want to make sure that you're jumping at the precise moment so that he doesn't grab you. And it's scary. It really is. And especially if you don't know how to do it, a lot of people tend to scramble around and are trying to dodge and attack Coinger at the same time. And trust me, it's not easy. It's very difficult. Butterfingers is now heading to Sting Chameleon stage, passing RT55J. Ooh, having a little bit of trouble with that, the enemies right there. Because you're not fighting the mid-boss up there, he's dropping down rocks, so you have to be very precise with your movements, or else you'll get damage. So let's see how Reabs does at this portion. Once again, shoutouts to Reabs Cave. Also got hit by the Cragman. Man, Cragman is just not having it today. He's like, nuh-uh, you're not going through this cave. Oh, that's some damage. Now just dodging a couple enemies, the Mad Peckers. Going through the swamp, no mech strats. That makes me sad, but I mean, what can you do? And we're gonna fight Sting Chameleon, which is a really easy fight. This is probably one of the easiest stages, in my opinion. Not too much to it. This one and probably Flame Mammoth, they're not that difficult. It's just knowing your movements. So just as Butterfingers is finished, Reabs is starting the fight. Once again, you're just gonna use the boomerang cutter. And just time it. That's all it is. Just left, shoot, right, shoot, left, shoot, right, shoot. Some people will do a charge, make it look fancy. Meanwhile, we're now entering Storm Eagle. So once again, because they're not going to be grabbing anything, they're just going to go straight through. They're not even going to go up. And they just got to be careful with their timing because it is a global timer, if I'm correct, for the panels here. So they just got to make sure that they're timing their jumps just right, or they could be risking themselves a death just like that. And there you have it. That is exactly what I am talking about. You have to know your precise jumping. So now this game just changed again. So we got death for 1 on Reabs and death for 1 on Butterfingers. Reabs had a little difficulty right there. Like I said, anything can happen in this. You can tell there's so much to this that can happen. Is it commentator's curse or is it my advice they're not taking? Ultra Uberness. Nah, but in all seriousness, like, for these speedrunners to be doing this, there's so much pressure, there's so much on the line right now. I can tell that they're super nervous going into this match, so. But it looks like they kind of caught up with each other, so we'll see what happens. It's all about Storm Eagle and how he does. Once again, we're going to be using the Chameleon Sting to defeat him, since it's his weakness. Normally, like in 100%, we would do lemon shots. And it looks like they're both opting to dive. It's a dive day. It's one of those days. So about like a 2.5 second lead. But like I said, anything can happen. So let's... This is, I believe, where we take the separate routes. Once again, after this, it really doesn't matter which order you take. You can technically take any other route after this. Some people just opt to go to Flame Admin first, some opt to go at last. Basically up to the runners. Some people do it just because it's map configuring on the menu screen there. So Reabs will be going to Flame Mammoth, just using a couple of Chameleon Stings to get through some of the enemies. Nothing too much here. Just dodging, attacking. Meanwhile, Butterfingers is in Spark Mandrill stage, defeating the Thunder Slime. When Reabs is entering Flame Mammoth, basically this fight, since I really didn't get to explain it the last time, it's just basically you're going to be using a tornado. They're going to do a lemon shot first, and then they're going to do the tornado hit. And it's just the proper placement so that they can get the double hits of it. And just dodging Flame Mammoth's attacks. He actually got an off-screen death, a little bit of off-screen death, yeah, which is really good because you kind of want to reduce any kind of lag that the explosions make. With that stage is done. Butterfingers is now heading to Spark Mandrill, going in with a charge shot, and then we'll be using the shotgun ice. Gotta dodge all them punches. And those electro shots, man, he's just going. So going into Spark Mandrill, this is another one of those very technique heavy stages where you just gotta know your placements, know what you're gonna be using. Everyone uses a mixture of different weapons, shotgun ice, the tornadoes, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And just knowing your movements, that's really all there is to it with that. It can be a little bit difficult learning it first, but getting the hang of it, it's not too bad. I feel like Coinger would be a little bit I feel like that's a little bit scarier. The Thunder Slimer is gone and done, and he's going to be going through the dark hallways. Meanwhile, Butterfingers is going to is at Armadillo, destroying any enemies that is basically causing any lag. There's just so much lag that just gets built up in this stage. So you will be seeing him doing anything he can to get rid of them. And he will be doing the minecart jumps as well, so that he doesn't spawn the metal wings that also cause a lot of lag in the game. Let's see how Reabs does this fight against Spark Mandriller. Butterfinger is now going into Armadillo, basically using the electro shot attack. The only thing that you have to worry about this is just the RNG of Armadillo and his rolling. He tends to roll a lot, unfortunately. Luckily, Butter got a good shot right there, but he's still opting to roll, but should be fine now. Now it's got him at a good position. Had a little bit of difficulty right there. I'm not sure what it was, why he had that. I think he was hoping to do that last shot, but still had to do another hit. And the reason why that they do that, he shot the wall too soon. So the reason why you shoot the wall, basically, if I'm correct, is so that in case Armadillo decides to jump and try to dodge the attack, like roll, you kind of get a chance to hit him. Butterfinger's now on launch onto the stage. We'll be fighting the Anglerge twice. We'll be using a different amount of weapons. Depends which one you want to use. You can use the shock, you can use the rolling shield, you can use the chameleon sting. Everyone has their preference. They just have to make sure if they do use the rolling shield, they have to be very careful because they are going to need that weapon when they go against Launch Octopus because that is his weakness. Oh, no, I don't want to look at that. Nope. I hate the second fight with Anglers because that is scary. Spikes with fan moving, pushing you, or pulling you forward in. It's no bueno. While Butterfinger is defeating the Ouroboros, Reabs is just starting the fight with Armadillo. So far, so good. Upping the roll, though. Just like that, he's done. With Launch Octopus, it's just dodging the missiles, making sure you're timing your hits, basically. Only because the rolling shield has a weird movement to it, and if you do not hit a Launch Octopus with the rolling shield, it will actually waste a lot of time, unfortunately. So you have to really, know your movements for when to attack, and also be wary of when he does things like the whirlpool attack and his missiles. And with that, they're going to be going at the very last stage. Burning New Amander. Shouts to Faraway. Let's see how Reabs does with the Anglerge. Oh my goodness gracious, Reabs. Do not... I swear. They're doing it on purpose. I'm just saying. They know how much I don't like spikes. It's just too spoopy. Too spoopy for me. I'm sorry. So timing that attack right there on the Ouroboros. Just getting through. We'll see how Reabs does with his fight against Launch Octopus. Meanwhile, Butterfinger is just about to enter Flame Mammoth. Using that tornado right there. That was actually kind of cool. Yeah, that strat I hate. I hate that strat. That's why I don't like seeing it. To me, I feel like it's really risky. You can make any kind of mistake and die from it. With that, Launch Octopus is done, and so is Flame Mammoth, so they are pretty neck and neck, actually. Reabs has a little bit of a lead, if I'm correct, but like I said, anything can happen. Like I said, Reabs already made a mistake and a death, so it's all gonna go down to who makes the least mistakes. We have our pet talk with Zero. Zero's like, I got this. I'm gonna go ahead. You'll be fine. I'll be fine. Be strong. So now we're gonna go through. Once again, it's another setup of we need to make sure that we have a low amount of health, and ooh, that's scary. Because we're gonna be going into another stage fight. So let's see, he does the skip. Very nice. Ooh, that gap jump right there. That was interesting. That was interesting. Oh. Interesting. I unfortunately did not catch on Reabs' side what happened. He was shooting a couple shots. I don't know if he did not have enough health or I think maybe it was his position, because I know sometimes if you are not positioned correctly, Vile will actually come over to you, pick you up, and then put you where you're supposed to be, like, for the cutscene. They both had a really good fight with Vile. And wait, what? Zero? No. What? Every time I thought he'd be okay. I thought he'd be okay. Zero, how could you do this to me? I trusted you. I trusted you so much. He gets me every time, guys. I just, man. Well, we say goodbye to Zero, and we're now going up the Tiki climb. Oh my goodness. The slight sink. The slight sink right here. This is not what we're fighting for exactly. This is the first of our refights, which is not too much to it. Just gotta use the torpedo. Quanker did a couple of teleportations, but man, this is really close. This is anyone's game. So this first boss fight, Bow Spider, I really hate. Basically, you're gonna have to know your patterns of where Bow Spider is gonna be going. Bow Spider can also drop babies. As you can see, they fall on both sides. Isn't that cool? And what they're gonna do is they're actually gonna shoot with a charged shotgun ice, because that is his weakness. And we'll see how they do. This fight can only be scary, especially for those that are just learning this, only because Bow Spider can get faster and faster as time goes and as more health it loses. You're just kind of hoping for the best pattern, basically. And just, you have to just have your shots timed, basically. Ooh, not the babies. Whew. They're still neck and neck. Man. Very, very neck and neck. Oh my goodness. Alright, so Sigma Stage 2. Birds are jerks. It's really going to come down to some RNG here as to how they're going to do, especially with Chill Penguin. And I don't know what happened to Butterfinger. He just did, he just did not input a dash, unfortunately. Wow. Just like that. Slipped. So let's see. This is going to be a big time loss for Butterfingers if Reabs doesn't get that RNG. So he's doing the slides. We're using the fire wave to cook the bird, basically. Fortunately, he's doing way too many slides. Meanwhile, Reabs is going to be on his way to fight the second jerk, which is Stormy Eagle. Having a little trouble with the ladder climb right there. Could be having a warped controller. That's unfortunate. That really is. And trust me, for those that do not know speedrunning of MMX, you do a lot to that controller. And, yeah. Let's see how Butterfinger does. Fortunately, Eagle is just diving and diving. Ooh, that's scary. So Reabs is now on Rangavanga. Got a blue eye right there. Interesting. I'll be honest, I don't know the true optimal setup for Rangavanga because I only know the 100% version. That's what happens when you have a 100% commentate an any percent. Everything just goes wrong. Like, look at that, 2 blues. That would have been beautiful for a hundo. that's a hundo's dream right there. So, ooh, taking that shot. Now let us see what happens here. Can Reabs make it up? Okay, Reabs did it this time. Got the Dilla skip. Went with a slower, safer strat. There's a quick setup with that. There's also some people that will do a damage boost setup. It takes a lot more time, but it also guarantees you that you will get that skip. So this is basically going to come down to execution and the RNG, basically. There's not as much RNG left, so they have to be very cautious with what they do. I believe really the only RNG element is going to be a little bit of Flame Mammoth and Launch Octopus. With that, Spark Mandriller's down. Meanwhile, Butterfingers is just starting the fight. They're gonna be going through here. Fortunately, Reabs got a little bit of a bonk. Still gonna go through. And we just gotta see how Launch Octopus does. Whirlpools. There we go. Wow. Had him basically grounded for most of that fight. That's really good. That's actually what you want, basically, for a fight against Launch Octopus. Because him jumping around and him doing the whirlpools, it's just so much time waste. Now we're going into Flame Mammoth here. Timing those jumps just correctly so he doesn't get hit. Very nice. Very well done. And now we're heading to D-Rex. Now, D-Rex can still be cruel. He's got a weird pattern in the sense of he can, be very erratic. Obviously, at the beginning he's slow, but then as time goes, sometimes it just goes crazy. So we'll see what happens. So far, so good. Ooh, that was a really, really good D-Rex fight right there. That's probably the best that Reabs is hoping for. Butterfinger going into a charge shot with that, which is not bad. It gives you a really good start. Nice. Very nice right there from Butterfingers. Alright guys, it's not over yet. Last stage. Sigma Stage 4, where we'll be fighting Belgarder, Sigma in his Jedi form and Sigma in his wolf form. It's not the easiest. This is make or break for a lot of any percent runners. We're going to be using the Shotgun Ice to destroy Belgarder. Belgarder can be a little bit jumpy, can move around, can shoot flames, so you have to be very careful. And this is another one of those, you probably just have to practice it enough so that you kind of just know how to be on your toes for that fight. For the second part is not that bad. It's Jedi Sigma. We'll be using the Electro Spark. and timely putting it against the wall so that he will hit it. So not too bad. They obviously still have to be careful that they just don't get hit. And this is it. This is do or die. What is going to happen? So unfortunately with the claws are, let's just be honest, it's not even Sigma that's the boss here, it's the claws. The claws are is the final boss. This is what it comes down to, basically. And with that, Reabs wins with a time of 33 even on the SRL. Wow, 32.59, a 33 even on the SRL. Butterfinger is going to be, let's see, and that was a 33.25, I believe. I believe on SRL it was a 33.31. So it ain't over yet. This is one win for Reabs, and now we're going into round 3 now. This is gonna be interesting. Once again, guys, if you haven't followed these runners, please do. They're amazing. They've given us so much entertainment. They're definitely giving us a run of our money because, my goodness, they've been going back and forth so far. They both want it. They both want it so much. And as X looks over the cliff, we're not going into round 3, so let's see what happens. And it looks like they are going to take a little tad break and take a little bit of a, just a little, yeah, no, I'm emotionally invested in this. Like, I am on my toes. I am shaking. I'm not even playing. I'm getting nervous. This is an interesting match. And it can go either way. You saw it. You saw it in the first one. You saw it in this match. It's the little mistakes that can cost so much. Like I said, they're going to take a little tad break just to kind of shake it off, have a breather, maybe use a restroom break, maybe munch on something, drink some water. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drink some water. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this so far. Once again, shout outs to Speed Gaming for letting us host our tournament here. Make sure to follow Speed Gaming if you haven't already, and you can also check their schedule for any upcoming matches, not just for MMX, but for any other games that are going on. They always do daily Link to the Past randomizers. There is also a Zelda 1 randomizer tournament going on, as well as, if I'm correct, there's a bunch of others, Super Mario Odyssey, Final Fantasy VI. So definitely take a look at the schedule, see what they got. It's really great to see new people come in and be like, hey, I like this, I want to learn more about it, and it just grows our community, and I really appreciate it. %, Zelda channels all the time. And don't forget to follow, like I said, there's a Speed Gaming Discord. There are many ways for you to get into the MMX community if you want to learn more about MMX, or not just X, but maybe the other X series games, speedrunning. You can also check there. There's a lot of people in the community and a lot of people that can help teach you the ways of speedrunning X, whether it be X 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But let's be honest, we only do X 1 through 3. No, I'm just kidding. I give love to X4 as well. It's a Soul Blazer. I believe there is a speedrun for that. There are a lot. Almost every game can be speedrun if you really put your mind to it. But yes, for those that are learning, like MMX, I feel like is a great start for speedrunning. Learning casually and then gradually learning techniques. I do feel like people should learn Hundo first, in my opinion, only because of safety strats. But any percent is still amazing, and it's crazy how they do this, how they get through this, the risks that you have to take in this category compared to 100%. So they are, I think, are going to be starting soon. They're just setting up here. So once again, guys, welcome. If you guys are just joining in, this is the MMX Any Tournament. Butterfinger1084 versus Reabs. They have each had one win. And this is it, the final match. Winner takes all. They have both have had their share of mistakes. And that is what it's almost been coming down to, basically, is execution and making the least mistakes. And whoever wins this, unfortunately, will be going against Akiteru, our world record holder. So, yeah. And with that, I think we are ready to go, and we're going to be starting. Just join that lovely intro as X dances up and down. All right, and we are ready. Okay, so first stage, intro. What more can I say? It's just a great stage. It has amazing music. It's got awesome enemy names like Gunvolt, Baldevos, Crushers, Jaminers, B-Bladers. The list goes on and on. But for those that are just joining, this is any percent, which means that we are only going to be getting technically 2 upgrades, and that's it. Nothing else. All the risks. Time for my favorite part. Of course, I like to call it the bees. It looks like they both got a pretty good passive B, if I recall. See how they do on the second part. A little bit slower. Looks like they both kind of got that too, so not too bad. They're going to opt to lose health actually here, because they're going to be going into a stage fight in which they need to have 4 rice pellets down in order for Vile to trigger. I think they need to get bonked at least. Yep, and which they did. They got their bonks from the Jaminers. Gonna dodge those task cars. which, by the way, are called road attackers, if you didn't know. Let's see how they do at this beginning part. Got a nice set. Oh wow, Reabs had a really good setup right there. You actually want to time your attack right there so that the airship doesn't have to move as much. So there's not as much camera moving, basically. And Vile's just like, ha ha ha, you are a pathetic, worthless metal scrap. And then all of a sudden, your buddy shows up, Zero, here to save the day. He's so cool. He's so amazing. He's so strong. So strong. And then he's like, man, X just feels bad. And he's just like, why? I couldn't do it. And Zero's just like, look, X, you can do it. It's okay. You will become strong. You will become stronger than me. You'll see. And we're done with that intro stage. So now we're going into Chill Penguin, where we will be getting our first upgrade. Our most important upgrade, which is the dash boots. So we can be the most fashionista roleplay there ever is. So basically they're going to be dodging a bunch of enemies, doing a couple of slope jumps just to save some time. And then when they get their dash boots, then this is where we really kick it up into speed. So going and dodging those spikies. So those spikies, man. And those batons. Those batons. They can get in the way. We get to see Dr. Light for the first time, and the only time. We will not ever see him again in the rest of this run, so say your hellos and goodbyes as we get our shoes. We get our lovely Nikes, our Air Jordans, our stilettos. So we're going to be dodging all the enemies here as much as we can. Now we're going to be using the dash as much as possible, basically, since it's the only way to go fast in this game. Chill Penguin is our first Maverick. Unfortunately, has a lot of heavy RNG, but these speedrunners have been playing this game for quite a long time. At least I hope they have. So they will definitely be prepared for what is to come. With Chill Penguin, it's basically, there's a lot of attacks that he can do. And you just basically have to plan out your move from there. He can shoot icicles, he can shoot ice rocks, he can jump around, he can slide. There's so many things that he can do. So you have to plan accordingly to his movements. And just hope for the best. And in Reabs' case, was the best, because my goodness, he just kept jumping. He just kept jump around. Jump, jump, jump around. And Butterfinger is just about to finish. Whoop, there we go. Another thing you're going to notice is that they're going to try to have X be at the middle of the room as much as possible, because X will actually automatically go into the middle before the stage is completely over. So they also have to optimize exactly where they're hitting the Mavericks so that they don't have to be losing as much time from that. Now we're going into Boomer Coanger stage, our vertical stage. A lot of precise up movement. They're going to be going through this hallway, and hopefully they can get through as fast as possible, because there is a global timer with the Mega Tortoise. And if they're not careful, nope. Reabs saw it. He said nope. He knew he was going to get hit. He was not fast enough. And it's going to take that damage boost right there on the ladder. As you saw on Butterfinger's side, though, he made it. So it's very precise timing. If you're too slow, then the tortoise's attack will get you. Like, no matter what. Like, it will get you. So there's a lot of precise moving with this stage, which is probably why this is one of the most like technical stages, in my opinion, for the whole run. And actually one of the stages that I feel like a lot of people practice on, because there's so much precise movement you have to do for it. And it's not the easiest, especially since you don't want to lose as much health. Once again, this is any percent, any kind of damage that you take. You know, they're gonna maybe hope to get some health back, but if they don't, they're going into a Maverick fight with very, very, you know, less chance of winning, or at least a chance of getting balked and hurt. So be very careful. For the Quanger stage, we're gonna be dancing. We're gonna tango with this buddy. So basically, we have to make sure that when Quanger drops his head down, that we do a precise jump and then we shoot. And with that, you can basically do it in a continuous motion until Quanger decides to do some teleporting, which is usually when half of his life is down. Then from there, you kind of want to just stay in the middle, since we're going to need to be in the middle anyways, and just, you know, gauge if he's going to go left or right. And with that, that fight is done. Simple, easy, easy peasy. We will now be going into our third stage, which is Chameleon Sting, which has become the optimal route now for Hundo. Love how that came full circle again. Shows how much I know this game. So for this part, like I said, these guys are gonna take the risks. They're not gonna go to RT55J. Once again, shout out to Reabs Cave. And we're gonna be going through the cave, dodging the Cragmans, which, wow, beautifully done, Reabs. Unfortunately, Butterfinger is having a little bit of difficulty. Like I said, because we don't fight RT50J, he drops rocks down in the cave, so you have to be very careful to not get bonked, basically. And then after that, it's just movement in the swamp. Just knowing your dashes and jumps, knowing where the enemies are. They're always basically in the same spot, so it's just, you know, timing. And sadly, no mech strut. That disappoints me, but we all can't be swaggers. We all can't be swaggers. So this is Sting Chameleon. Sting Chameleon in the Japanese version. He's a very easy fight. Boomerang cutter. Left and right. You do the math. That's pretty easy. And with that, that match is done. That is easy. And I believe we're going to be going to Storm Eagle next. The second bird that likes to be a jerk. Once again, there's going to be probably a little bit of tad RNG in this fight. It just really depends how many dives Eagles is going to be giving us, if he gives us any. Very, very simple, straightforward stage. We just got to be careful with movements, with the panels, basically, because they're on a global timer. So we just got to make sure that they're making precise jumps and not making mistakes so that they do not fall to their doom. It has happened. So, and I could see some of them took a little bit of caution for that too. So obviously they didn't want to make any mistakes. Whew. Butterfinger scared me a little bit, but he's fine. It's good. And it's just going through. Not too much to this stage. Now that they got through the difficult part. And with here, we're going to be using the Sting Chameleon weapon. It is his weakness. Normally in a hundo, you would just use the lemon shots because you wouldn't get to that. But now it's the optimal route, so they probably would do it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I keep forgetting. I'm a scrub hundo. Ooh, and with that, really good fight right there Reabs had. Unfortunately, Butterfinger had a couple of dives, but still got through pretty well. So now Reabs is going into Flame Mammoth stage, while Butterfinger is going to be going to Spark Mandriller. Just precise movements with the Spark Mandrill stage, whereas Flame Mammoth is not going to be too difficult. Just using a couple of Chameleon Sting shots. Nothing too hard, not too difficult. So on Butterfinger's side, he has to be very careful. The Hatarions can be really annoying. And he's using the tornadoes for that. Some people opt to use the shotgun ice. You have to be very precise with that movement. But now he's destroying Thunder Slimer using the boomerang cutter and the tornado. He bounced just a little bit, but not too much. You know, Reabs is fighting Flame Mammoth, which isn't too bad. Usually do a lemon shot and then use the tornado. And with that, he is done. Butterfinger is going through the dark hallways, which once again can be difficult. He did have a lot of trouble. If not last match, I believe this is the match before. Ooh, dodging those Hatarions like crazy. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful section right there. Beautifully done. Loved it. Loved it. Loved every second of it. That's where you can see like the precision in movement can make all the difference. And using the shotgun ice so that we can defeat Spark Mandriller. Not too much to this fight. Because once again, the Mavericks are pretty easy to defeat. They're not really that difficult, especially when you have their weaknesses. And wow, that execution right there through that hallway, Reabs. Wow, that was really nice. Very nice. So you can see he did lemon shots and shotgun ice. Not the easiest thing to do. Could have easily bonked into enemies. So that was, oh man, they're definitely both putting a show for us. Meanwhile, while Reabs is there, Butterfingers has just entered Armadillo's stage, which will be basically destroying all the enemies to reduce lag. Like I said, this is where it comes down to. It comes down to execution and the least mistakes. Any mistakes can cost them this match. This is it. Butterfinger dodging that Mobor and is now heading to the minecart section. The second minecart section. So that he can reduce the lag and not bring those metal wings to the party because they just bring way too much lag. Too much lag. Reabs finishing Spark Mandriller as Butterfingers is just about to start Armored Armadillo. Once again, we'll be using the Electro Spark. He's going to set up. It's really nice. Oh, Armadillo opting to do some rolling, which can be a little bit difficult. Be a little trolly, but got him. Nicely done. He's just going through the stage right now as we speak, going through all the enemies, making sure that they just don't get in the way. Like I said, not much to this stage, only because at 80% we're not grabbing anything. Some people that are first learning MMX Any Tournament will actually opt to get the heart here because it's one of the easiest ones to grab. And it's not too out of the way like others are. Butterfingers is now at Launch Octopus stage, where he'll be fighting the Anglers, using that rolling shield and then this Chameleon Sting right after. Nicely done. Ooh, butterfinger had that push from that angler. Ooh, scary. Meanwhile, Reabs is at Armadillo stage on the fight. So far, so good. Little trolley with the rolls. Almost basically the same like Butterfinger had, so they had a very similar match. And it... Having a really good run here. So Launch Octopus, we're going to be using the Rolling Shield to attack. Basically, it's just precise timing, because he does a lot of jumps, he can do whirlpools. You also have to be very careful, because if you do opt to get grabbed by Octopus, there's that one chance that he can do the infinite kill, and it's not pretty. I've seen it. And I've seen it happen in actual tournament runs. It is not something you want to see. I'm not sure if they're seeing each other play against each other. Some runners will. Some runners will see the others while they're doing their match. Others will opt not to. Just a preference, really. This is not like a game where you have to know something ahead of time or anything like that. So as Butterfinger is going through Flame Mammoth stage, Reabs is just about to be hitting Ouroboros. And will now be going against Launch Octopus. Once again, it's all about dodging the missiles, shooting the rolling shields at precise times, and hoping that he just doesn't do whirlpools. See how he does? Wow, that was a really good match right there. No whirlpools, and he stayed put again. Really nice. The best you could ever ask for. And with that, he is done with the Mavericks, and Butterfinger just finishing right after. We give our pet top with 0, and we're now heading to the Sigma stages. Once again, it is not over until it's over, guys. Anything can happen. These 4 Sigma stages, any mistake that they make, any kind of mis-execution could cost them. Man, that leap of faith. I don't like leap of faith. Anyways, once again, they will be losing as much energy as they can from the gun bolts, the ball de voes, just so that they can get through the stage fight with Vile. Doing a skip here so that we don't have to go through the cutscene. Gosh, I want to say that loses like, I want to say like 12 seconds, maybe even more. I'm pretty sure it's even more. I obviously could be wrong, but I haven't had it in a long time, so. And Butterfinger just getting there too, doing that skip. Nicely done, nicely done. Yes, Elect Triforce. After Storm Eagle, basically, you can almost go any other route that you want. So some people opt to go like Flame Mammoth first or Spark Mandrill first. They're choosing. And with that, wait, was it 0? Wait, what? No. No. 0. Why? I trusted you. I trusted you so much, and you let me down. You let me down. I just don't know how much more I can take from you, 0. Just don't know. Well, we say goodbye to Zero. We get his upgrade weapon. Don't worry. He'll be okay in X2, right? So Reabs is now doing the first rematch with Kwanger, which we have as a weakness, so it won't be too difficult. He's opting to stay to the right so that he doesn't have to go and, you know, doesn't have to walk a ways, basically. And we'll be fighting our first boss, which is Bow Spider. Bow Spider. What more can I say about this enemy that I don't like? I don't like spiders. So, once again, it's patterns. Bow Spider will go down and go through a different amount of patterns. It's about learning it. For those that are learning this game, some people will opt to do the pause strat. Well, you pause so that you can kind of get a gander as to where Bow Spider is going to be before you make the attack. And they're going to be using the charged shotgun ice, since that is its weakness. And man, Bow Spider throwing the babies. It's just a lot. And you have to be very careful too with your attack, because you have to make sure you shoot at the right time, or it may not even take it. It may not even take the damage. It's really bad when it happens. And with that, he got through. Ooh, Butterfinger having a little difficulty here. Oh, and Butterfinger took a hit, and that is going to cost him. Like I said, with Bow Spider, the more time you take, and as its health is going down, Bow Spider will become faster, which can be really difficult when trying to remember patterns as to where Bow Spider goes. And unfortunately, because of that, he could not react fast enough. And because of that, he has very less shotgun ice ammo. So he's going to have to be doing some charge shots after this, which is not good. This is really bad. Meanwhile, Reabs is just finished the first bird that's a jerk, is going into the second one. Come on, Butterfingers. There we go. There you go. Yeah, Bow Spider is a ridiculous boss if you do not know how to fight it with normal means, especially for those that are hundo percent, because they use the Hadouken, and if you make a mistake and get bonked, it can be scary, very scary. Reabs finishing Storm Eagle, and we'll be heading to Rangabanga. Butterfinger is now starting the stage. This is costly. Butterfinger is basically just going to have to hope that Reabs makes a mistake. But he has a very big lead. Like I said, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So he shot one of the eyes, is now going to be going for the nose, using that chameleon sting, and then defeating the rest of it. Meanwhile, Butterfinger just finished Chill Penguin. Didn't have too much difficulty with Chill Penguin, it seems. He had a couple slides, but not as bad as I thought it would be. But this is where it's going to be really, like, I mean, third stage now. We're going into basically the Dillo skip. Can Reabs do it? He is nervous. You can tell. He does not want to mess this up. Look at that. He wanted to make sure that he got that. doesn't want to take the risks. And that's and in this kind of situation, it is understandable. And Butterfingers unfortunately took another death. That is going to set him back even further. He was on the edge as he was trying to fight Storm Eagle, and unfortunately, that is just, that's the worst. That's the worst. And I've seen that happen in other runs too. Birds are jerks. What did I tell you guys? They're jerks. They are jerks. Reabs is just finishing Spark Mandriller. Meanwhile, Butterfingers has finally got through and is now going to Rongabonga. It's going to be a little bit tight because he is a little bit low on ammo for the Chameleon scene, but I think he will be okay. We'll see what happens. And Launch Octopus jumping just a little bit. Ooh. The whirlpools. Here come the whirlpools. Launch Octopus was like, nope. We're doing laundry today. With that, Butterfingers has finished Rongabonga and is now just starting the third stage. Meanwhile, Reabs is almost at the end of it. This is a very big leap. And this is, I can't say anything here because it is not easy. Any percent is not risk-free. And Butterfinger unfortunately did not get the dill skip, so he will have to fight him to get through. For those wondering how that skip works, basically it's making sure that the ceiling does not pop up. When you go through that door, it causes basically a glitch, which the game doesn't understand what's going on, and it figures that you already finished the fight with Dillo. Reabs is now fighting D-Rex, which is doing good so far. Very, very good. He, almost like the exact same fight that he had last time in the last match with D-Rex. Probably couldn't ask for a better. So this is it. Last stage. Anything can happen. We're going to be fighting our dog Velgarder, using the shotgun ice and dodging him. We're going to be using the electric spark against Jedi Sigma, and then using the rolling shield against Wolf Sigma. Let's be honest, it's not Wolf Sigma, it's Spike Claws. It's the Claws. Claws is the final enemy, because they're so trolling. So let's see what happens. He went with the charge right there. Interesting. I know some people usually go with the charge. Ooh. Velgarder gave him a little bit of issue, but he managed to pull through. Once again, this is where you don't want to take any hits. This is it. With such low health, with no upgrades except the boots and the gun upgrade, any kind of mistake can lead to death. So he has to be very careful. And with that, Jedi Sigma is gone, and this is it. This is now or never. Butterfingers is now going into the refight with Flame Mammoth, as Reabs enters our final boss, which is the claws. The claws, the trolley claws. I hate them. Everyone hates them. Anyone that speedruns this game knows the pain that is the claws. And with that, Reabs finishes a 32-10, a 32-08. My goodness. He was on fire there. That was a run. He was not gonna give up. That was for sure. Butterfingers is now finishing DRX, but it's not, you know, major shout outs to Reabs and Butterfinger. Butterfinger is one stage away to being finished. So let's make sure while still supporting. Like I said, any percent is a really difficult category. And people don't understand that. And as someone that only does 100%, I totally understand how there are so many risks that you take in this category. It is redonkulous. Anything can kill you. Any kind of mistake is costly. So we're going to see how Butterfinger does against Velgarder, Jedi Sigma, and Wolf Sigma. And Velgarder actually jumped a lot, but luckily did not get bonked. Did very well. And it looks like we're not going to Jedi Sigma. Once again, we're going to be using the electric spark. They're going to be timing it because they're going to shoot it on the wall because it travels down. And by timing correctly, it will actually hit the moment Sigma goes against the wall, which saves a lot of time. Doing it not that way is a lot slower. And oh, he got bonked. That is scary. That is scary. He cannot get hit. This is it. He gets hit, and that is it. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness, I was holding my breath right there. That scared me. Oh my goodness. And with that, Butterfinger finishes in second place with a 35.03. With that, Reabs continues onward. I believe this was the match, if I'm correct. Yeah, that was it. Oh my goodness. That was scary. Like I said, claws, they're the worst. Worst boss ever. Just the worst. But once again, guys, if you have not followed these runners, please do. Follow them. They are amazing. They take the risks for this tournament. And they gave us a match. And I'm really, really proud of them. I don't know if we will. Let me see if we have time. Let me just double check. Sorry, I'm gonna tapping in my keyboard. I'm gonna see if we can be able to do a short little interview with our runners if they want to. See if we can get them in. Like I said, this was a really, really interesting match. They were toe-to-toe at times. They were at sync at times. It was insane. But it's just, unfortunately, just the small little mistakes is what costed for Butterfinger. So I think I got one of them. So like I said, because this is the the second round of our tournament, you're gonna start seeing a lot of these runners take risks, and some paying off, and others not as so much. And it looks like I got my guys in. Reabs, Butter, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi, Butter, how are you?
I feel
It was insane. I cannot imagine the nervousness, the pressure going through that.
really?
Yeah. I think I lost our other guy. Hopefully he can come back. But I mean, like I said, you guys were neck and neck a lot of the times. Sometimes you guys were in sync. It was insane.
Oh, really?
There were times you guys were really close. You were a couple seconds away. So, I mean, you guys definitely gave us a great match in the long run. Is there anything that you particularly, wanted to comment about on your runs?
I was very excited that I could race against Reeves. Like, Reeves is one of my favorite MMX runner. He's trying to be very consistent at this game, and he has a lot of his unique movements. So I have actually a lot of movements and strats from him. So
that is awesome. And
wow,
Reeves,
thank you.
Oh, look at that! You have a big fan here. He looks up to you, Reeves. How do you feel about that?
Embarrassed? I don't know.
No, but that's really great. See, and that's amazing to see runners that are joining this tournament because of other runners. That's really amazing to hear that, especially in a tournament. Reeves, how did you feel about this? You had some struggles, and you fought through.
Yeah. I didn't think my first run was that bad, actually. Although I think I ended up with a better time on the second run. The entire way through the second run, I just thought I had lost because I died to Boomer early on. So I was just like, oh, that's it. I'm gonna be out.
Yeah, so you guys had it was just, you guys were neck and neck at times, and then sometimes one of you guys would just make one slight mistake, and then it would just completely change everything. Like I said, you died at Quaker at one point, and then at one point you also missed a Dillo skip as well. I noticed you took your time on the last match to make sure you got that armadillo skip. So I guess there was a lot of tension.
Yeah, if I had been further ahead, I might have done something risky there, but I was in the green all the way until Sigma 3, but it was only by half a second.
Yeah, your third match was insane.
I was just like, I might as well just play it safe.
Definitely. Basically from that, I mean, oh my god, it was a really good match. You guys did a really fantastic job. I just want to say, you guys definitely made it exciting. At least, no, it was exciting for me, so. But after that, I mean, Reabs, are you ready for Akiteru?
Well, I mean, almost PB today. I'll just have to PB against Aki.
Okay. He's got confidence here. You never know. It could be the underdog story that we've been wanting.
Anything can happen in races, so you never know.
Definitely. Butter, did you have any other words or final comments that you wanted to say?
I think Reabs didn't die even once in Wolf Sigma fight in this tourney, so I think it definitely has to Akiteru, and I'm also looking forward to and the rest of the matches in this tourney. Like there are more interesting matchups in this round 2, like Darren, Kaz, and Two Stop. So I'm looking forward to matches as a viewer from now.
Amazing. And any final comments, Reeves?
No, I think I'm in the same boat. I mean, I'm gonna race Aki, but I'm looking forward to all the races. Pretty much every race from here on out should be pretty exciting and close. So
definitely. So for those that are wondering right now, obviously Reeves goes on ahead and will be going against Akiteru. There's still many matches still left to go. I believe our first one will actually be with Daredevil and Kaz, and then Two Stop and Trogdor. That one's on Monday. So make sure you guys are following the challenge site as well as the Speed Gaming, so you can see all the scheduling, when they're going to have them. And also, once again, shout outs to butterfinger1084 and Reabs for the lovely match that they gave us. Make sure you do give them a follow. They are amazing runners, and this was really cool to commentate for, so I'm really glad I got to do that. Make sure you just keep on. I mean, it's getting down to the wire. This is where these runners are not going to take any, they're going to take all the risks. And we'll see what happens in the next match. So thank you guys so much for having us. We hope you enjoyed it. This was the MMX Any Tournament. And with that, you guys have a lovely evening.